Hello, I'm Peter Kessler. Gary Player won 9 major championships, 9 senior major championships, and 165 tournaments around the world. He's the greatest international player who ever lived, one of the greatest players of all time, and one of the very few who had no weaknesses from tee through green. In this DVD, Gary Player's A Game for Life, Gary will share with you the knowledge gleaned from playing world-class golf for 60 years. Some people point to his bunker play and say he's the finest bunker player that ever stepped into the sand. Others say from inside of 100 yards, his game has never been approached for consistency and accuracy. He still breaks par and drives the ball 270 yards. This DVD was made especially for you in an effort to help you enjoy the game more, in an effort to help you score better. Please join Gary and me in A Game for Life. Gary, you are generally regarded as the greatest bunker player that ever lived. Show us what great bunker players do, and show us something that we haven't seen before.
First of all, Peter, what I tried to do as a young man when I was working as an assistant professional in Johannesburg, I was in the bunker every morning at 6 o'clock. And I practiced, I had to start work at 8 o'clock. And I had to be on time, but I tried to hold 5 bunker shots before I went to work. Some mornings I did it, some mornings I didn't. So I spent basically years and years just practicing and practicing and practicing. They even called me Lawrence of Arabia. Now, the thing is this, why did I do that? Because I realized as a young man, my father-in-law said always, turn 3 shots into 2. Why has Tiger Woods been the best player in the world for the last X amount of years? Because he is the great example of turning 3 shots into 2. When he misses the green, he chips and 1-putts. When he's in the bunker, he explodes out and he 1-putts. And when he's on the green, he 1-putts. So the thing is, you've got to improve your short game. He and Phil Mickelson are living examples of that the secret to golf is the short game. Neither of them today are what you call really good drivers of the ball. But they are the best, and I take my hat off to them that they can score the way they do. It's a special talent. It's a great talent they've got. Now, when you get in a bunker, there's nothing worse than when you don't have confidence. And so I realized to win major championships, when those flags are just behind the bunker or right next to the bunker, you want to make a point of being aggressive and going for the flag. If you start playing away from the flag all the time, you're never going to win those major championships. You only have one chance, and you only usually win it by 1 shot. So you've got to be aggressive. And I was never scared of the bunker because I'd spent time in there. Now, when in a bunker, the things that all great bunker shot players did. Number 1, I'm not going to play to any particular hole. I'm just going to show you what they did. The first thing is, I never saw a bunker player who played well with his feet together. When your feet are together, you're going to get all wobbly and your feet are going to sink in the sand while you're playing. And if your feet sink half an inch while you're playing, you're going to hit behind the ball or hit the ball cleanly. So the first thing you've got to do is have a good stance. And that is, if I try to push you over, come in here a minute, Pete. Let's show you this so you can see visually. You stand with your legs together. Now look how easy I push him over. I just touched it. Now stand wide and strong. Look at that. See the difference? It's like the Eiffel Tower. You don't see him with a bottom like that. It's a wide Eiffel Tower to make it strong. And so therefore, if you stand wide, what does it do? It makes you strong. It makes you play the shot with your hands only. And when playing bunker shots around the green, you don't want to use your body. You want to use your wrists, not your body. You don't want any big movement in your legs. So the wider you stand, the less you can use your legs. And secondly, when you get in there, you've got to stand in that bunker solid with that right knee in there like that so you don't get this sway. Once you get that in a bunker, you've had it, or once you sink down there, you've had it. So there's the first thing. You've got to stand nice and wide and strong. Secondly, every great bunker player cocked the wrists early. Now, let's take a man pitching a baseball. He cannot pitch a baseball if he goes like this with his wrists stiff and then try and pitch. You have to get back there, cock your wrist and pitch the baseball. You watch a man when he's playing tennis. When he's hitting that forearm, his wrists are like that, and then he comes through like, he doesn't go like this, stiff wrists, and play the shot. Why have you got to cock your wrists? To enlarge, to enable you to release and to have speed in the shot. You must have acceleration and club head speed in every bunker shot, whether it's short, whether it's medium, or whether it's long. So you've got to have club head speed. Now, you cannot get speed if your wrists are stiff like that. You've got to cock those wrists immediately. Now, you've also got to change your grip a lot when playing a bunker shot. You don't use the same grip for every shot. When the flag is close to the edge of this bunker, you strengthen your grip. Now, why are you strengthening your grip? It gives you more loft. Let's say that that is your club face right there. Look at this, my club face. The minute I do that, watch, look at my club face. Now watch when I strengthen my grip. Look at the club face, how you've added loft. If you weaken your grip, you de-loft it. So number one, when the bunker is close to the flag or the flag is close to the bunker and you want a high soft shot, you strengthen your grip. When it's a longer bunker shot, you weaken your grip a little bit because that de-lofts the club and you can get the ball up to the hole. You folks that play bunker shots, for 100 bunker shots you play, you hit past the flag probably 5 times. You're always short because you're decelerating. Now look at this. Look at the sand in the bunker. Look at it. Look how thick it is. Look at the resistance. Now to try and get your club through there is tough. So therefore you need speed. When you have resistance in any sport, you've got to have speed to counteract the resistance. And we're going to show you this in long grass when we finish this. So the fact that you have all that sand, you now have to have extra speed because when you're chipping off the edge of the green, there's no resistance. So you can chip and you can get the acceleration. But a bunker makes you decelerate. So when you go in a bunker, you've got to say, that sand there is making me decelerate. I have got to accelerate. And that is your final thought, which we're coming up to. Wide stance. What I'm showing you now is to give you the final conclusion, and that is to accelerate at impact. Wide stance. Cock the wrist. If you play a stiff wrist, you're dead. If you play a bunker shot with stiff wrist, you are dead. You have no chance whatsoever. And I see so many people in Pro-Am try to play at stiff wrist. Impossible. That is absolutely impossible. Look at my stance. Look at my right knee, how it's buckled in here like that. Now, I'm going to turn against the knee when I go back. See that? I don't get any of that. Watch that knee. Stays there, stays there. By standing wide, it helps you to stay there. Look how my wrists are breaking immediately. There. Now, a final thought to get you to accelerate. There's a matchbox. I'm drawing a matchbox for you. A lot of people have never seen a matchbox in their life, the way the world has changed. But every time somebody had a cigarette or you lit a match in the old days, it was on a matchbox. And to light the match, you had to go psst, psst. You couldn't light the match if you went slowly. You could not light the match if you went slowly. I'm being repetitive. So there's your matchbox. So before, when I'd give lessons, of which I used to give as many as 10 and 15 a day for 50 cents a time, however, to visit this great country, and boy, was it worth it. Now, I'd draw the matchbox, and I'd say, okay, there's the matchbox, light the match. And they'd go, chip. Great shot. Watch how I'm lighting the match. Chip. Then I'd get the average guy, he'd go. I'd say, you haven't lit the match. The match was not lit. You got it. And then I'd take their hands, and I'd say, okay, this is what you're doing. There. Now I hold their hands, and I go. Chip. That little bit of a light the match, strike the match, acceleration. And that's the thing you've got to end up with, acceleration. Wide stance. Don't worry where the ball's going, just get the action. Watch the wrist cock. See the wrist? You see the striking of the match? Watch there. Yeah, watch. Breaking the wrist. Striking the match. Strike the match. Accelerate. Once you decelerate, you've had it.
What are you aiming at, and what are you looking at, and what are you thinking during the swing? Okay,
so first of all, I've always heard, and all the lessons I've heard, 2 inches behind the ball. The best players that play out of bunkers average with a thought of 1 inch behind the ball. Because the further you hit behind the ball, the less spin you get. The closer you hit to the ball, the more spin you get.